become so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
There's no central computer for them to go to and shut it down. They have to go all the way to the ends of every wire. They have to snip all the cords across the globe if they want to try and stop it. The network is built so that there's nobody in charge, that everybody has control over their own communications.
The Million Mask March on November 5th is one of those days when Polonins come together, forget about their little fights, and join in a global march for freedom. It doesn't really matter what kind of mask you wear, we just march together. So if you've seen nothing, if the crimes of the corrupt remain unknown to you, then we would suggest you allow the 5th of November to pass unmarked. But if you see what we see, if you feel as we feel, and if you would seek as we seek, then we ask you to stand beside us on this day, and together we shall give them the 5th of November that shall never, ever be forgotten. Greetings citizens of the world, we are anonymous. We would like to invite you to the Million Mask March that takes place every year on the 5th of November in cities around the world to remind this world what it has forgotten, that fairness, justice and freedom are more than just words. It has been another year full of political bullshit from both the left and the right, and we were here just sitting in the middle with a big bag of popcorn watching the entertainment show, full of lulz passing by. We sometimes reacted to this through our accounts on the interwebs, with memes or text. Meanwhile we caught something disturbing. It seems in the 21st century, people can't let the right or the left political spectrum go. It's okay folks, let it go. It's not like you're gonna get herpes from it. It's like people with a god complex, like a dealer getting people hooked on the drug of hope. His followers are nothing but addicts who want their dose of bullshit to keep their dopamine of ignorance. Addicts, afraid to believe the truth. All we are to them are subscribed fanboys for their poorly written sci-fi franchising. However, the question is how we ended up in this mess. In a system where Big Brother is extending his tentacles far and wide in almost every aspects of our lives. Through automated plate recognition cameras, facial recognition cameras or RFID chips. The orchestrators responsible for the economic collapse in the 2008 made it available financial crisis can still rot free. On October 16, 2017, a journalist who led the Panama Papers investigation in Malta was killed in a car bomb near her house. The rise of poverty, the rise of hate, the rise of violence among each other, the ridiculous endless discussions on social media defending a stupid political color have happened before our eyes. If you are looking for the guilty ones, then we should all take a good look in the mirror. No matter what your function in the society is, we are all guilty. Blaming everything on the system is the easy way out. Many might feel weakened by the corrupt visibly gaining more control over the society. However, don't be mistaken. We are growing too. November 5th is one of those days when we show our true global strength. When we all march together, united. The Million Mask March on November 5th is one of those days when all humans come together, forget about their little fights, and join in a global march for freedom. It doesn't really matter what kind of mask you wear, we just march together. So if you've seen nothing, if the crimes of the corrupt remain unknown to you, then we would suggest you allow the 5th of November to pass unmarked. But if you see what we see, if you feel as we feel, and if you would seek as we seek, then we ask you to stand beside us on this day, and together we shall give them a 5th of November that shall never, ever be forgot.
The mainstream media are just puppets and murder.
People be oppressed by greed. Our collective has realized, along with many of the world's citizens, that the current governments are no longer functional.
president. Do what else you could do. Boycott. Boycott.
Wir als Menschen
They've already circled the embassy. We want Assange set free. He didn't do anything. He was nothing to report. We want the real criminals in jail. We have answers. We have answers. It is all about tradition.
was a hell of an adventure, but
today they claim we take down 11 statues. So
for some reason they were trying to set us up to each other, or
First thing is the dates. 2 days ago it was 11, yesterday it was 12, today it's 13.
I really enjoy the fact that the people who uploaded this video call themselves Anonymous Official.
there's your red flag already, right?
Yeah.
Is everybody here basically in Europe?
yeah.
For the most part, I mean.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bard, I just come out of the Egyptian theater. I made a wrong turn somewhere, and I ended up right in front of a Scientology retail shop. There were bad books in different languages. There was a guy in front with a weird shirt on, asking me like if he could talk to me, and I just ran. I didn't know what to do. I made a live video, and I ran very fast.
Violence against you. Don't give them any excuse, because you are staying within the law when you are protesting, and you're not breaking any laws. And make them be the first ones to break the law.
Following the light.
violence. You're giving the powers who are in control the excuse to use violence against you. They're painting a very bad picture of you by being violent protesters. Well, it is your right to protest, so you can do this without any violence. Yeah, well, you have this racist guy. He runs over someone with a car, and then you have all these Antifa protesting in America, and then directly as a response, like a week later, then all these Nazis in Germany start protesting.
Yeah.
It's like
So
all over the world now, right?
Try to divide us.
There are many things wrong with
False flag, of course.
media. Loves these false flags.
Most of the time these things just are created to make new laws, you know.
That is true.
We find the news now. We make the news, we find the news. We have to hack databases and security systems in order to get actual news anywhere in the United States.
We're following this idea of anonymous. Yeah, and I'm reading this in the comments now. Someone says anonymous hack in ABC News to find out which journalist wrote this story. Would actually be a good idea, I guess. Anonymous is not a group, so it's not the same thing as Antifa.
And remember, we do not fear, we do not regret. Expect us.
Sometimes it's hard not to want to shut people up. It's a frustration of hate, when really, if we're going to be about free speech no matter what, we have to hear everything. And so, I don't know, it becomes a battle. It really does. What would you guys say is your most woke news sources that we can pay attention to here in the United States in order to get real news?
people who follow like certain ideas, right? And it's not always about these people themselves, but it's about the ideas they follow.
I've been thinking a lot lately that they have just been throwing out all these topics so that we have things to fight about on the internet.
Live right now.
Okay, so we are back now.
Yeah, it's a
And
Monday.
you know that what you start Monday can be finished Monday or Saturday.
Yeah, we got should march a whole week.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope it's gonna be a good march. It's gonna be awesome, I think.
Oh yeah, Europe is strong still. Europe is always strong.
Like I'm saying, guys, we are live.
I think we're already
live. Yeah, we are live.
Yeah.
Last year was very funny because it was raining like shit. We was really wet to the bones. After, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's also bad. If it starts raining, some people will not show up, but yeah, other diehards, they love it, of course. I mean,
Romania was cool, but it was very nice, but was big problem and people decide other thing.
You know what I have with these masks? It always gets so hot behind this mask. Like when you're like breathing, your face gets so hot. It is like I like it when it's like cold weather outside.
Yeah, but in the summer we need mask with air conditioning, I think.
Yeah. No, but we can all. I hope that we all have good march, and that we can bring some. That everybody have some good marches in each city and countries, all over the world.
Not so many injuries.
We hope for no injuries, totally not. No riots, no nothing. We do it peaceful, and eventually we can shut them down. But we say, that's enough, We have the right for protest, Yes. We need to do that. And who else gonna? How is gonna be in Amsterdam?
They also asked for you to come to like Lisbon, right?
To Lisbon.
Yeah.
To Portugal. Yeah, no, Porto.
Yeah.
We have their friend.
I want to come, but it was a little bit too busy for me. I want to go to Portugal because I don't know. Are there people from Portugal here? No, huh?
No, but we have their friend, and few of them shall go to Rome.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
The
I told them
Vatican.
go. Yes, I told them go and kiss Pope for me.
Yeah. Vatican. I want to go to
Yes,
there
yes.
too, but I was like, from where I go to? But I'm from here, Belgium, you know. I'm gonna go to Amsterdam or Portugal or Italy, because I don't know yet. But I decide for go to Brussels.
From Scotland, few friends shall go to Rome. Same. Andreas. Send me a message, not well.
I hope this Pope he will be shocked that he will see this march.
It's the first time one shall be there.
Is it the first time?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, that's. I want to do that, but yeah, I have not the personal things for go now to there, but I want to go be there, but that's good. It's a good march. I gonna be good march. Must be.
No, last time when I was in Italy to a march, it wasn't. For me, it was well, but for others, no, and immediately.
Yeah. Sometimes better, sometimes it's big. I think in 2015 everything was big in all countries, but.
I told you this time, all the Europe is very, very angry. All the Europe.
Yeah. True.
If something shall happening in any city and the people shall know, everyone shall go out.
Yeah, I know the first Million Mass marches had maybe like 10 people, 20 people. And it's only been growing and growing, and sometimes the year is not so good and only less people show up, but it's always better than the first marches. It's still surviving and sometimes stronger, so I'm happy with it.
If we don't do it, they take our rights away. Simple. There's, we have no other choice for come on street and do something. You know. If we don't do it, who else gonna do it? Everybody must come together and do some good marches and spread the word. You know, and free internet, and we can spread the real news and not the fake media. Shit. Sorry for my word, F word, but or S.
But this is also connecting Anonymous with other people on the street, because the media always says like Anonymous are like hackers, terrorists. All. Now they can see these are just normal people like them, and they will connect with us, and it's very better for propaganda.
I told you, we must. I left a message, but Mike didn't reply to me. We must ask them to give us help for send few parts, few image from this the video we shall do, and send it direct to TV. That shall be a very big for us. We shall punish them very well if the day after tomorrow, when we shall start the march, some image shall be sent to TV station directly to the TV people, to the people to see. That can show Anonymous can control the internet.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it will be very powerful for sure. Yeah.
In all the country, wherever it can, just like a flash. Boof, boof, boof.
But people getting tired, and yeah, there's a kind of how you say this, freedom of speech. I say it's protests going all along for hundred years, you know, and we don't gonna stop for a right. Simple safe.
There are really young people messaging to Amsterdam March. Like they have to be at school, and they're complaining they have to be at school still. They can't come.
What do you think about the UN Immigrations Pact?
You mean these immigrations in Europe?
Yeah, the pact of the UN now.
Oh, that is interesting. It's a difficult question, right? I mean, you have these refugees. That's you should, of course, allow them like homes and stuff. But yeah, you have to.
Yeah, because some countries denied now, and with the other countries, we have to wait for their decisions. Yeah, we will look what happens then.
Yeah, of course. It's. I must say this: everybody has his own country and culture, you know, whatever. But yeah, who creating this wars in Middle East or whatever, and the world what happened? And of course, they come to our countries, but I don't blame them. But of course, then they're creating divided with this kind of things between the people, our culture, and them. But it's not our fault. It's the fault from the big people, you know, the higher up people, and it's to those people that you must say from, hey, stop this war, stop this kind of crimes, you know. Then we are happy, they are happy, and don't make your business in somebody else's countries or whatever or culture. Come along, we Europe do. Why cannot everywhere world in Europe do it and the world to do it? You know.
Yeah.
It's all about
And we
little.
must help them. We must help them to have in own country what they need.
Yeah, yeah.
The problem started not only with the war, with a company who steal everything. Let's be honest. The bank get out from that country everything, from oil, gold, minerals. You know better. Everything on that. If we put them to pay to that country, so that country to can developer, that shall be a good thing for the people to don't get out from that country. And about that, what you said about green energy, that's my problem.
Yeah.
Fake.
Let's say, if you remember a few years, 4 years ago, was a big discussion on the internet about the price. The price what are 10, 12 times bigger than must be. Then some officials from US, from Europe, ask why, and we prove them. A company must pay 25% by every year from all the investment, like insurance. I wonder why. After that, in 2-3 weeks, the price in US get down with more than 10%, and sure, in Europe go up. I wonder, and now why?
Hey guys,
Yes.
we are already live for a while now, but we didn't redo the intro, so I want to say real quick to all listeners that this is the Milmes March Special 2018 Part 2. Our guests right now are Milmes March Belgium, Germany, Hungary, Netherlands, and Romania. We just continue kind of where we left off yesterday. and we will just talk about the event on Monday and about all the issues Anons will fight for and will march for on Monday. So welcome everyone and thank you for listening.
Thank you.
So just to carry on, guys. I mean, yeah.
So greetings from Germany, Berlin. Thank you for inviting here. Yeah, we hope this Million Mask March becomes big again. The last days I had to do much because I didn't know the actual situation. We had 2016 over 300 people. It was not less, not too big sadly, but not too less. And 2017 sadly it were less people. But now we could speak to other Anon groups, and it looks very good this year. We have much Anon groups, some called independent Anons. They will concentrate to Munich, for example, and other old Anons, and they're ready again to go on the streets because the Heikel situation and because the international politics. Yeah, and I hope the best. For 2 hours, I think, I got the last message that one big group is with us, and so I hope the best for us. We will have in Berlin the march, and several other towns. I don't know if it would be big there, will be big there, but we'll see.
Okay, yeah, well, you guys got like a very active crowd each year. I mean,
we hoped for a big Million Mask March again in one city, but because of privacy problems, they call it problems, privacy problems, or less money. Yeah, they will do it in several towns and cities. So we the positive thing is we are present in much towns. Yeah. Less positive would be we are not the massive big crowd, but we will do our best.
Yeah, well, that's important. Hey, Dragos.
Yes, I'm here in Romania. Shall be more than last year's, more than 100. But the people shall wait to see change from us because here is a lot of manipulation. You cannot believe. You heard only from manipulation. Here the political class, it's a fake political class. It's only a mafia. Here the justice, it's justice for politicians and for simply citizen. Word, just word. Interest, nothing else. Here is what they say to us, anarchy. No. In Romania, politics are anarchy on this moment. So people want the change. They look on the street. For that was that target resist more than 1 year. Only because very angry on the political class, and same are very angry on the intruder from European. More, the Popular Party European of Merkel, and people are not very happy with that. We want a change, and if we don't do, we will do. This year shall not be organized by us in Cluj, Constanța, Ploiești, like other times, because, like I told you, too much manipulation, and we want to just to do everyone where can, how much can, only for who wanted really the change. So I hope we shall do the best. Is the last our hope. Belgium, we are the hope on you.
Yeah, and the Belgium march. You guys are large. Every year you're all showing up in Brussels, like huge, huge protest. So.
Yeah, we showing up in Brussels is see, we hope the best, you know, and yeah, we can.
Yeah,
we had some bad marches, good marches. Is we gonna see what gonna happen, but people are tired, you know, and eventually.
You know, like with Brussels, and like we have in Amsterdam a march, and you can see from all Belgium, all people come through to Brussels and march together, and like we have a similar thing in Netherlands that everyone from the entire country comes to this place in Amsterdam and march together. This really shows like a unity amongst these Anons. Like we don't have these big countries with all these big cities, so we come to this one place and we march together.
Lots of Belgians are going to Amsterdam this year for the march instead of Brussels.
Okay, we welcome them all, of course. I mean, it's not so far away.
All are invited everywhere. Just to come.
Everywhere you want. You're welcome.
Yes.
Exactly. I was invited for the Vatican and Italy, you know. I want to go, but by personal things I cannot go, but otherwise I would to go, really. And Portugal
yesterday
also.
I shared the details for where, time and everything. And if you want, I shall share again for our friend.
Awesome.
Yeah, of course. This Vatican march is kind of like a new thing this year. Many announced from across Europe want to march to the Vatican, and like you also said, Dragos, they're coming from everywhere. People in Portugal and stuff, they even go to the Vatican. It's just incredible. I mean, it's just it's a very powerful message. I mean, it's one of the power hearts in Europe, I think. So
yeah, Vatican, Brussels.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main capitals where they control everything after the big screens.
And Germany shall be very important for us, for Europeans. In France, the same. I don't know, didn't reply to me Anonymous France. He said that we shall do, don't worry, but he didn't give me any other reply. I told you here in Romania, if a small fire shall started, immediately all the streets shall be full and we shall get back the street without any problem from anyone. We have that power. We may hear a revolution, and after that there was a lot of incidents, all of them manipulated by personal, private interest on money. We prove that, yes.
If the march to the Vatican is successful this year, maybe next year it will be a good idea to have a big march to European Central Bank in Germany.
The second target is Fed on USA. They want to go there. Who cannot come to Rome shall be there. I think this year is the important for all of us, because this year start to change. The problem is they change the world without us. They change the world only for them.
Yeah.
This is the problem. For that, people must come with us to change the world for the people, not for the politicians, for the banks, for the corporate, for the church. We must change back to us. We must to get the power. We must reset the system. This is the really problem. What we must say to all of them.
The system
because is down. It's broke. All the system everywhere, not only in Europe, in USA, everywhere.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The problem is only that not this is Berlin, Berlin International, together with Berlin Legion. The problem is only that people don't have woken up, and they still eat the meat. They still cloud it, and so we must, but we need to wake up people first. And for that, they need to change the diet, and we cannot reach them. We speak to people. They don't believe us.
You know why? Because we only talk. We don't give them a image of that. We don't show them what we can do. You see, the politicians in last years only lie. Not only us, lie everyone. So it's not enough only to say they lie, and it's not enough only to prove that they lie. We must to show the people the way how can everything change. I shall give you a few samples. I don't want to get the power. I want the power work for me, because that is the state.
But need to wake up people, and that's why, for instance, Berlin Legion and Berlin International as one try to go into the streets. So we anonymous, but we also activists. We wear the mask or we don't wear the mask. We try to speak to people, give them flyers, wake them up, put a QR code on, get them in to the boarding and speak to them. It is hard to reach people.
Yes, because they like to listen to the party. What party said? What government said? Let's do like them. Let's
mainstream.
Them. Yes, that's more than that. Let's show them this is a party. This is a few papers, nothing else. The people behind that make mistake. Look what they did. Look what they.
True.
We want to force them to pay for that. If they make one mistake, to pay for that. Now, in last years, they make a lot of law who let them to broke the law. There is law for simply citizen and the rules for them. Why? The same law, same rules for all of them. If cannot be used for the simple citizen, is not good. Shall be get down. Only same rules can work. And so a lot of politicians shall make a step back because they don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, it's true what you say.
Sorry, I have to say, the greatest problem in the moment is the division, like left, right, and I mean they want this. That's the plan. But here in Germany we have this special problem because of our history, yeah, and that's very difficult to speak truth in here because it takes 10 seconds and then the Nazi.
Exactly.
I shall give you a sample.
You get judged. You get judged. Yeah, true.
How can come anyone in Germany and force the people of Germany to use other culture, other religions, other education? This is crazy, man. If they go in Germany, they go in Germany to be like Germans. For them, that is not nationalism.
I mean, there's a plan. There's a plan behind this, and Germany have a special role in this. And I mean, they use the whole history about the Holocaust and all this stuff, and to use pressure on people to and nobody is. It's really funny because nobody likes to say something about this. You know, the whole industry here, the mainstream media, the comedians, everybody's trying to avoid this.
But to prove that, in the Holocaust have died 6 million of Israelis and Jews. Say how you want. I don't want to be attacked for that. But when start, there was only 3.5 million. From that 3 million.
That's true, but it is.
Have died 6 million. After that, have left another 4.5 million.
Yeah.
My mathematics is not good. I'm engineer. I'm not.
No, that's good. The analysis is good. It's only, again, mainstream forbids anything to say against Israel.
Yes, because Israel
It is
owns
taught.
all. Yeah.
It's taught in school. It is so indoctrinated. People don't believe that. You know, I shared this with people, that the Holocaust was not like it is portrayed. I told them that Hitler tried to get the Rothschilds out. People, people just don't, they're just not woken
You
up
have
enough.
problem with the mic.
It's the same with the refugees. Berlin International is one is really created in the thought of the Middle East. I combine a lot of different people, Kurdish people, and United States and Netherlands, etc. And the thought is also to understand with the Holocaust also why we in Germany took so many refugees and how it's now turning that there is hate against Islam. This is very special in Germany, and I'm happy that Berlin Legion and we work together because we really will try to inform people and shed some light in it.
In the first, other country don't want because Merkel said, "Let's get on, let's continue the war, let's get the people here." Merkel is number one target in all of this, but the people, the Germans.
Excuse me, but Merkel is just instrumentalized. She's just a figure, you know. The New World Order stands behind, and if you think that just in an Oktoberfest, this is a big event in the Munich southern part of Germany, all the big figures of Masons and Illuminati just met with the big lodge, then we can understand that they're stepping up in their game because they don't have no time to lose, and we don't have no time to lose either. So, Germany is really special. So we hope that people hear us and join Berlin because we have a big task. And as Uwe, anonymous Uwe said, it doesn't matter, right, left, green, blue, whatever. We need to come together and less division, less infights.
I think you make the perfect. It's the perfect thing you're saying. The politicians are mostly actors, and they are part of this system, and they are put in place to also take the blame and play this game of left and right. While really they're all working toward some skills. And at the elections, you are mostly choosing like the lesser of evils if you're smart, but. You're dealing with a corrupted system, and in all of these countries where we are all marching, many people are waking up to this, and yeah.
Very common. If I can, oh my God, I don't have PC. There are a lot of documents about billions who have been stolen by Deutsche Bank and sent to offshore.
Oh, the beauty of the beauty. All the way, all over the globe.
Yes. And that has been paid by the Germans, sure.
Of course.
Thousand names.
Yeah, German taxpayers had to bail out these banks too when they finally started to crash on the markets.
Yeah, first they destroy some countries like beautiful Greek.
Yeah.
And make them pay forever Lutheran into buying things, and then they can barely pay their debt, and then we pay for this and the European for that. So it's a big game of the Rothschilds, right?
Yes.
It just needs to be understood by people. And how do you wake up people? That would be my question to you guys, and Sisters and Rose. What do you think? How can we wake up people faster? Because it is extreme difficult to wake up people.
People are.
What can be if? Sorry, I listen.
Yeah.
What can be if shall not work the banks days? Shall have problem with server?
Yeah. This of course gives impact, but you know what works? This media, it is historically hypnotizing people with repeating certain information, and I think a very strong way to deprogram people is to repeat the truth and repeat it in different ways again and again, and
And don't forget us, you know, everybody, yeah, like Greek. Greek is not the only victim, you know. You have Portugal.
no. It's the Northern European banks have done this to the southern countries.
Who is punished? There's the Greeks, the Italian people, the Spanish, the Portuguese people. On the south, they paid for all the mistakes that our system did. They're getting tired too, you know. Like it's not only the Greek, but now eventually, it's everybody is paying
It is
the price.
economic enslavement system. Economic enslavement system as
And the people pay for others.
yeah.
Exactly, and then this is not the way how we want to live. You know, if everybody is happy and everybody have his own, like, you know.
But that's a good point. You know, you have to repeat it. You have, on the end, you have to use the same patterns that the system used to manipulate people.
Yeah.
So
This is why we have in our videos too, like we mostly we end like with the "We Are Legion" and these things. It actually works. This repeating, they remember this. It is just an example, and these words, most anon videos end with, or actually they stick with people. And if we repeat the truth over and over again, it will actually stick with people in their long-term memory. So
Yeah. I like to add that I'm always telling people to inform and research and don't believe everything and protect themselves, to be more aware of themselves and of their environment, and unite for the truth. And number one, again, I am vegan, and I believe that when we think about glyphosate in food, which causes 90% of the cancer, if we know that this opens the brain barrier and people get an MS and all these other diseases, I think it is a very vital step that people understand to be awoke, that they need to be healthy.
I think people over here are in the Netherlands are very much awake enough. They most people I know, at least, they don't really trust the government or the media, but they don't want to get out of the comfort zones.
Yeah, here
they're afraid to lose what they have right now.
In Belgium, exactly the same here. They know they control us, you know. Like I say, you're gonna protest, you're gonna do that, or you're gonna speak up, or we're gonna punish you. People getting scared for come out and say the fucking truth. I say the F word again, but it's true because we need to speak out, and because we are tired too, and don't forget it's happened all thousand years, you know, like the same kind of stuff. But if we don't speak up, they're gonna give us more rules and more that, and we have all the right for have the same, you know, a house, a good family, enjoy
People
your life.
have to make some problem to media.
Yeah.
To don't work.
Media.
To don't. Yes. Online media, all media must be get down for a few times tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and the people shall feel that, shall understand, can be the change, can come something else. Look, someone are better than our media, are the best than others.
Now, yeah, I like to add that we need to understand that the media, the newspapers, is only owned by a handful people, and every time people cut the TV on, they are within given 20, 60, 80 seconds, they are zoomed into a frequency, and to make people understand that it is important to get your news, your information from truther channels, from anonymous,
from real sources.
from self-thinkers. We have a very good group here in Berlin called the Self-Thinkers on Discord. I like to mention that. It's Carlo Teutenborg. He's an excellent guy who has on Discord a channel which is organized with several rooms of truth information. And so if anybody in the world likes to have more information on that, he's on Telegram.
Maybe you can put the link below in the comments below the episode, and people can check it out.
But what Wire just told, it's a very they work on a very interesting concept. They do like flyers without any signs of anything. It's just like very neutral flyers, and they do a place where people just load it down. They can just download it, print it out for themselves, and go and spread it. So it's a good idea to don't have to be part of any movement or anything, and this works. It's very, very great.
Yeah.
You know what is difficult is that they have all these big media and they have a lot of reach, but we do actually have people. We have a huge amount of people, so we could actually do something against it if everyone, actually using these flyers, for example, if you have systematic spreading of these flyers, like every week people have to spread this in all these cities, and the only thing we have is people. We have more people than them, for sure.
We don't spread things that's copyrighted.
No.
No, that's difficult with the copyright. You can put a QR code on there and certainly anonymous logo, but copyright is difficult. That's why it's here from Carl Teutenborg is as Uwe just pointed out, pretty neat. Just printing out and laying them somewhere on the bench with a stone, or just give them to people like we do in the streets, and not always try to talk to them, just try to give them the little notion, the little kick to think, to reflect upon, give a little bit of information of some websites. We're working on our YouTube channel, and Berlin Legion and Berlin International will work very closely together to create something like a library type of thing, so people can grab things. Sometimes people just need to be able to grab things or download things so that they're not pressed into joining or go in contact directly with people. Sometimes they just want to read, and I think that's it works in different ways. I think.
Yes, and all the time they ask only for hacking, only for tools, nothing else.
yeah, we point that one out too. Then there's some good channels on Telegram.
The most asked question on Facebook is, can you help me hack my friend's Facebook account?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we provide those links too.
After we made the fourth edition of Perot, a lot. I want it. Okay, take it. Download it, free, man. You can get in 2 minutes from Turkish. Work well.
Yeah.
Perot is the best now.
Yeah. I just spoke earlier when I get some food, Arab food. I just talked to Kurdish people, and interesting enough, as I pointed out in the beginning, Berlin International was founded with the idea of a great Kurdish guy, and interesting enough, that is something which is very alienized in Europe, to really understand the Middle East, that the United States in 2001 just decided 7 countries they're going to start a war with, and 5 they're going to just flat down, destroy. And who is involved, and why pipelines, and why gold, and why bomb, and all of this, and why Rothschild not. I think there is a lot to inform people, because it's directly connected. For Kurdistan.
Yes, it's all about that, and the same about what's happening in Ukraine, and not only in Afghanistan, in Syria now. It's the same. Libya have get down. and the people come here, sure.
You're also about America trying to get resources as collateral in this world system, because there is used by countries for trade because they don't trust it so much anymore. So America is getting a lot of collecting a lot of resources to keep control. I mean, Afghanistan, the mountains are filled with lithium, for example, and shortly after our Afghan war, everyone drives electric cars with lithium batteries. So
For that, pay the people from Afghanistan.
yeah, they won't see anything of this. This is all Americans all take it. The same as for the oil in Iraq, right? It's the same thing.
Right, the oil in Iraq, and also yet now the Iran is Iraq. Iraq is completely have Iran in their pocket, and they get the money to them. But Iran now is involved in Yemen and as well as America, and the pipeline which Iran just tried to build. It was even promoted in England and announced already, but somehow I understand that it was stopped by freedom fighters. I think we need to understand the entire region to understand why we're doing so well and why we have all the refugees in Europe, because this is all a created situation. And now where we have reached an humongous amount of refugees, the populismus and the division is starting of creating false flags, and also in Berlin actually, where it is said on those daily newspapers, those small ones, which a majority of reading in their train ride to work, that this and that person got raped by a Syrian or a Kurdish, etc. So that's why Uwe said in the beginning, this right, left, green, red, whatever party it is, it doesn't matter for us anonymous, for us activists, for anonymous probably because we can't go like this into the street. But we have false flags by arranged with busload coming right and left people who beaten up their heads in several cities in Germany. So we need to see the entire picture, what is going on.
Yeah, and eventually it'd go over to other countries. And now everybody must just see the picture, what's really happening. Because they don't show it.
And that's why in England is the same. It's not nice for them.
Yeah, but it's also time to stop to describe the symptoms all the time. We exactly know what's going on, mostly.
Yeah.
So I think now it's more time to find little ways to, spread information and do it more directly on the street. And we have this one thing we go in the U-Bahn, right into the traffic on a Saturday, which is party time. But what the fuck,
dude?
Okay. I think he made a dot.
Dot, yeah.
He have been generated.
It is smart because we still have to upload it on YouTube, and they will kill it. They will kill it.
Shall we cut everything, please?
They brute us. Does us. I don't know what that was.
We will see what happens the next days or weeks. One question: did you all, everybody, notice what happens in Pau? P-A-U. This is a small city in southwest France.
No, I'm sorry. I regret.
Okay.
No, I didn't have that.
Yeah, because of the UN Migration Pact and the EU, the Grand Orient is a French division of Freemasonry. They invited all politicians and all big chapters to a conference to discuss the next steps and if it's good for the next steps or not, or to promote more propaganda, or to make more propaganda and more splitting of the votes. And at first I was scared, but I hope they will make a good decision. It was from the 1st November till today. I think we will see the next days or weeks what they decided. We will see it by handling and acting of the EU and what they tell about the message.
Thank you.
Yeah. The decision.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The politicians, told before, much politicians denied the pact, and now much lodges see that the system will break, and that's because they have to handle now. And I don't know if it's good or bad what they decide or decided today.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll see.
So behind the closed doors, it is decided again, and then we will see what the effect is of it.
Yeah, you could see it in the internet. It's official, which topics they are speaking about. And it's very interesting because the elites, they have one target. We know which target. And we will see what the Freemasonry does, or if they have really much power or not.
Okay, this is a good moment then for this, because I see some people commenting below the video talking about they're negative about veganism. They say we shouldn't discuss it, but I think what our guest is yeah, I think what you try to explain is that these big food corporations are not delivering the healthy food we should be eating, and it is messing up our bodies, and it doesn't really help us in the way it should. And if you research into food, there are and you really understand what you're eating, what you're drinking, you understand that you can make a big difference to your body, and whether that is veganism or other diets, you should research what you're actually eating.
Yeah,
So.
I think if I may come in there, I don't promote veganism in itself. I think what I promote is that we look at the entire industry, which have billions of cattle, which eating food which we could give to people who are really starving. And we have, I think, roughly 7 million people who are starving. We give that to the animals, and the animals eating so-called, or it's rather said, we eating proteins over the animals, and that's not true. But the main fact is really that these animals are suffering, that a pig in 4 months only, as a pig lives only 4 months and has 4 times antibiotics. And the pregnancy horse gonotrope hormone, which is horrible, gained all the way to the death of the horses. This is all in the food. And I think we need to see that in a spiritual way. We are also spiritual. And when we eat these sick, tortured animals, and I'm not trying to be pathetic here, they are tortured and they are sick, and we eat them. I think this hinders us to awake, to open our channels, and to be spiritual. And I think we need to be spiritual because we combine over spiritual things too.
Exactly. No, I'm agree.
So it's not veganism. You can be vegetarian, but just don't eat meat and fish.
Same
and maybe don't drink the pregnancy milk.
Same if we shall make with green energy our own system and don't use the grid. It's ideal from last years. Many people make this, and they are out of grid. They don't use from the corporate energy. Nothing. Only own energy. They have more than that. They can sell to others.
Yeah, if you can, you should do this for sure. Not everyone can do it because they live in like flats, right? Apartment buildings, and they don't have maybe the room to do this or the money to do this. But if you can do this, maybe it's smart to go off grid. So, yeah.
Yes, because if you do in the country, the people who live on the village, on the small village or a vacation house, you can connect to the grid with that energy and use wherever you.
Personally, I like the barter system. You know, like not like the old, like in the old days, and then like with animals. Yeah, I'm an animal activist too, and it's yeah, I know animals are important, and like how they try to watch out to the food what you buy. Also, I'm not a vegan, but
Yeah.
I promote. Yeah, I support like also like animal liberation front. By the way, respect for their things that
A
they
good
do.
start is for people to realize the big food corporations, the big food providers, they become so big, a big corporation. They're more about money than about your health. You can believe this. They want to make profit, and they make their resources as cheap as possible, and it's not always healthy. Yeah, so yeah, just just research what you eat. If you can eat healthy, please do it.
Yeah, you must know where you buy. Don't
Yeah.
buy from the big corporations that you pay for eventually, and then you must buy from them. That makes sense, you know.
You see also what Nestle does with the water, right? They're buying all the water in the poor countries and selling it in these bottles.
So for that, again, the big corporation make problems.
Yeah.
We must that it can be an idea, not necessarily the best. The corporation must pay from the benefits that they take there. Last month we made here some research. Let's say not too legal. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We search about some money from the Romanian pharmacy corporate. His name is Sensi Blue. Every week, every office from this pharmacy send management external from 100,000 euro. Everyone have more than 1,000. That means every month more than 100,000 euro go out. 100 millions, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
Every week.
Yeah.
And I ask how. It's impossible. Let's search the money. Let's see where and how. From German's friend, Andreas help us, and we found how. They get here medicaments for cancer and a lot of important medicaments, and from here they send not legally, not officially to other country like Germans, England, France, and sell there with then the price. And so they pay external management from that money, and no taxes for the state here, no taxes for the state in Germany.
Yep.
In France, they sell in France, in England. So how we can stop that? How we can put them to pay for that? Because they steal this country from all the Europes. They steal.
Yeah.
We said yes, okay. The people with cancer must pay. Don't have any choice. Why? What you said about that?
You know, with these elite, they hide behind their corporations and behind their networks, and they never take responsibility for this. But what would be a nice start is to list the exact names of the people doing this, making these decisions and make them known to the world, because these are people, and if they commit crimes against people, they just get replaced with someone else. But it is very visible who are doing this, which people are planning this, and there are not so many. There's just a few people doing this.
As we know, if I can interject, as we know that this entire New World Order or these Illuminati Kabbalah, that they are creating different areas in order to depopularize us. Again, when I say vegan, then I mean not vegan per se, I mean a life change so we don't help these companies. If I say vegan, then I meant when you don't eat meat, that you're probably not gonna get sick. Since I'm vegan, I don't get sick. I'm not sleepy, I'm not exhausted and nothing. It changes you, and you don't buy medicine. You don't get sick. And again, when you eat meat, 90% of all the cancers are coming. So not promoting vegan, but promoting meatless, because this is all connected. The medical field, the pharmaceutical, the vaccination, etc. That's a big area. This is maybe not the most important area per se. We have other big issues, but this is definitely one we need to think about.
For that, we must use ecological product made by simple citizen on own garden. They need help for that. They need support to sell all of their product. And not only from Romania, same from France, same from Germany. There are a lot of people who don't have where to sell. We must just help them to be on the market and to force the market to get it. Same for the food, we can do same like I told you for the energy. We can do same with other things, on construction, on everything. And so we can force the corporation to respect our right on living, nothing else.
That's why I like so much this boycott actions, because a lot of people I talk to, they say like, oh, what should I do? What can I do? And it's not easy for everyone to do something. But sometimes it's good to just do something not. Oh, fuck my English. But that's why I love the boycott, because the people just don't do thing. Don't buy this, don't buy this, don't. But you have to inform people. But that's, I don't know.
Let's help them to find the good things on the good price, not the big price.
Yeah, that's the point. You have to give them some alternatives in any direction.
For everything, yes, for everything. You don't need to get antibiotics. You can make a lawn home with lemon, a sample.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You can make your own shampoo. You can make your own toothpaste, where they put fluoride inside, which makes us really stupid. They put that in water in Europe a lot. And interesting enough, when more people, like Uwe said, boycotting and not buying and making stuff on their own, which is really not very time consuming. You see that, for instance, I'm not going to say the name, a very huge cosmetic company just bought into environmental stores and bought a product line of natural products in order to change them. So these are the effects then when people boycotting certain things, that the industrial area is reacting right away, desperately sometimes. So we can, if we work together, and we need to work together, we should really join together from all nations and have in each city. And that is another thing which I like to mention. There's this great guy called Neo369. He's also in Berlin, and he's also in the Self-Thinker of Carlo Teutenburg. He has this great idea to combine cities, and that's what we are now in process, to combine cities just in Germany, to have admins in each city to work closely together to for a united thought, to inform each other, but furthermore also to crystallize or to focus on what is important for this city or what is important for that city.
Yeah, and also we had this idea of this meeting for Europe. I think we should work on this again, like have a meeting, like cities, small cities, bigger cities, and they send people, and then we have a meeting Europe-wide, and it's often, I notice it's very good to see the people in real life. Very good experience with that. So I work with different groups, and German. What is German? Austria, Switzerland. We're working on kind of system to reach this.
Last year and a half, almost shall be 2 years, when we started Change the World. We tested only in the USA. We did not find here money and understanding from political class in Europe. We make in every city where you can find the people, we make a smaller organization for that, to help.
Okay.
Help people to find good food on the good price, to find for a small village, like I told you, system energy, green system energy, private individuals for everyone who want. He put, sure he can help on others. It's a own business. Same, we help them to learn to live without use all the big corporation give. We can try to do here in Europe the same, but I told you we didn't find money, research for that, and nothing agreement for the politics. Nothing in any country.
No, that's I imagine that one. Yeah, true.
Andreas also have a lot of problem, and two of our friends have moved from Europe for that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly from German. They go.
Okay.
Now we have a joke when I talk. You get back to Germany. Immediately, directly. Merkel go? No. No, we stay better here.
And you have such a beautiful accent. I missed in the beginning. I'm sorry. Where you from?
Romania.
Pardon me?
Romania.
Romania. Wonderful. Thank you.
Very young, my family forced to speak only in French. If now you ask me in French, I don't know too much. When I was 9 years, my parents now I talk with a little. She find the really about what I talk. We talk in English.
Okay.
Family from Italy comes here every holidays.
Okay.
Understand this better. Not force me to speak English or other language. School one for me. Italy was the best.
Yeah, interesting enough, Italy. We have 3 arms, right, which are holding the EU together. Do you know that, guys? It is Italy, and it is France, and then it's Germany. And Italy is cracking. Merkel will step down, and certainly France looks like it's going to go very, very right. So it is in question if the European organization as it stands right now will survive.
Well, you know what's happening here in the Netherlands too, with the Wilders and stuff. There are also very powerful forces that want to get out of the EU here. So.
Yep. Yeah.
The
They
problem
made a plan, 1996. They made a plan, to make the EU without a safety nets and nothing. So that's where we can already see that the new world order just created that.
The problem is not Europe shall remain. The problem is shall lose power that ordinary European political party of Merkel. This is the problem who destroy Europe. It's if they lose power, they are really can do anything what we don't want. They start to call here immigrants. They start to say, let's get everything what is good in other country. Let's stop industrialization and make from that only agricultural. Let's stop that. Let's stop that and only used by here. The problem is not that they decide. They decide for all countries, no problem. But they call others there. You come here to work for us. They want a very cheap and for work. That destroy part of Europe. Italy, I was make there a school, a high school years ago. Have been closed it. It was all the time a commercial state. They have small industry. All the money they made only from commerce. All the money. It's not a joke. It's not a mafia problem. No. That mafia for them is not a problem.
Created by the government. Al Capone, woo.
La famiglia è bella.
Yeah, voilà. Bellissimo.
It's not a problem because in last years they start to use drugs and guns and that. They make a lot of money with cigarettes, with drinks.
Okay.
Yes, and now they make that. But now come others from Russia, Moldavia, Ukraine with a small price.
Yeah. But I have a question, guys. As far as for Trump is going to be for election, upper house, under house, Senate, and then Congress, and on I think it's on Tuesday, right? One day after our beautiful march. What kind of impact does that have on us all? Do we have thought about that already?
Very big.
In which
I shall
way?
tell you to understand what man is him. Years ago, there was nothing about to candidate to presidentially. Someone make connection with him, make him connection with me for a report about offshore turbine. About that, he has there his land.
Hey, you lost connection there for a second.
Now you can hear me. I studied a project from the Scotland, and I said I'm not agreed to be put in the ocean, destroying everything there. Is not okay, and blah blah blah. You know how I was to make a report. Work for more than 400 pages. I sent it to him. He said, "Well, okay," and I look the owner of that area, and I see he's one of them. And I said, "Mr. Trump, I see you are owner of that area, not far from that. You can negotiate and talk with them." What? What you said? We shall talk later. Years from that discussion, he never talked. Of course, he never talked with me. He never replied to any message to me. I didn't call him a lot of said, Dragoș, take care. He is at you. He never paid. I don't ask for money. He said my opinion. I give it, and that is all. This is Trump. If
I don't think Trump would ever talk to any of us. I mean, I've been to a protest against Bill Clinton once, but I wasn't even able to get like 3 miles close to him. So
no, it's not like he's the beauty, he's the best. You are not good.
But he did good things too.
Yes, he make a lot of good things for people. There are millions of jobs. Some of our friends work have get job last year and this year. It's not a joke. It's very good for them.
He destroyed many pipeline rings. He fights against the Federal Reserve and the Black Rock.
No. He destroying the Indians route. He destroying the reservation because behind him is the king of shale gas. It's not nice what he did for that area. That people lost everything.
I mean the pipeline, oil pipelines, the APL and NODAPL situation.
Okay.
For the pipeline, he's destroying everything. Give direct order to send army there. No, that people don't have any chance with him.
I don't believe in any of the politics there either, but I think
one topic.
We should see because he's the only alternative to what are now owner the European Popular Party. There is nothing others want to put something for us.
One topic because of Trump. Can you recall when he met Merkel? He offered her the peace contract. Do you know what I mean? Germany officially not the peace country in the UN, and Germany and the BRD are not the same. And there were many people who talked about that, and the medias called them conspiracy theories, but Trump offered really the peace contract, and this is evidence that the conspiracy theorists, they were right. And this is very interesting because last meeting when she met Putin, and the meeting where in Turkey with Erdogan and Macron, and Putin told her the same, and she was really shocked. And I don't know if it's the main topic, but it's one of the points because she gets smaller now and will leave soon. Sadly not. Sadly. One of the CDU will come who's not better. He is much worse. If you're interested.
Yes, and we heard Merkel promised to Russia to cut all penalty they have. Yesterday I heard that. What do you heard about that?
You mean these sanctions against Russia?
They want to cut all.
Okay.
Yeah, they have no choice. The system breaks now. The elites will lose Europe. That's because the gold of New York and London moves to China now. They try to build their new headquarters of New World Order in China. We call Deep China. And try to destroy, or not to destroy really, but to make the Western world so weak as they can now, to have the monopoly station. Yeah.
I know they are building a connection between China and Russia with high-speed trains to have these products from China, these cheaper products, move into the European Union faster. So European industry will be like hit very hard by this. Because now it's mostly by plane or by small goods by plane or large by sea, and it takes very long. So and then now they are building this Silk Road kind of thing. They're calling this new Silk Road, and they through Russia with Europe, and it will be devastating for European economy.
We're gonna be the victim eventually.
So the fronts are changing now, and Putin and Trump try. I know it sounds not good for some people, but they try to help Europe. I think. I hope it, and I think the worst case scenario would be civil war or war, and this is what we don't want.
And for that, the only chance is to change that system.
For changing the system, we will go into a finance crash, with new or without. After this finance crash, we can controlled by the countries and continents without elites, and make the finance better than before the mafia.
Yes, same. I remember now. We must say something about the national banks, like in Germany, must be to the state, to the people, not private.
The problem is I have one joker. This is Friedrich Merz. He should supersede Merkel soon, and this is a stronger puppet now, like in a football game, the new player. He is in much banks.
Yes.
He's board of directors in BlackRock, Atlantic Bridge, Three Little Commission, HSBC Bank, Commerzbank. I don't know if German bank, Deutsche Bank, but German stock market, for example. And I hope the other side have a good plan against him. That's because we should observe it and quickly informate the people how we can, as we can.
Macron is very dangerous man.
Oh yeah.
We have a mutual, not with him, with
France.
With his wife, we have a friend. And they said take this one, if shall be president, is very worse for them, for us.
Yeah.
And now he's president.
But we didn't know what happened. The dice have rolled, but we have new chances. And now he's against the elites.
It is difficult to predict.
You meant Trump, right?
I don't think he's Trump, man. He's more only to the corporated people, not... You see, when start a company for Trump, we make a lot of research. Behind him are people, are not elite. Behind him are people very, very rich. Make money from oil, shale gas, sure, it's destroying the earth. Gold, and only few are from industry. Like we get back in the 10th century with them. I don't know if they have a slave, but look on Trump. He never start from zero. He all the time get money from his daddy. 10 millions, 20 millions, never lose.
But without these old lodges, these bad lodges.
Yes, but all the time he get others from a lot of hidden places. He's the man who all his life was very rich. Same purse, same is man. But on this part are people who make many black things to get that money. All their own life. Destroy all the country only to be rich, like Rothschild and all of them. This is the problem. Like Soros, same. Is not a difference from them. They are in the same boat. So these two, let's say, these two mafia fight now for the finish of our earth. And people on this game are not are not on this. And we must make people to be on this table, not necessarily on this table, but in the same room. Are the feudal with the, let's say, commissionary? Let's nice word for them. With the church who have thousands of trillions of billions of in gold.
Yeah.
And they need money now. The people were. The people no. In feudals, yes, were slave. And for them, and for that mafia, are only good to pay. The people must pay what they want. We made the law, so the people must be forced to pay what they want, what they need. Why? We cannot do nothing on that.
Yeah.
It's crazy to say to have all the power. Let's be honest, we cannot get the power back.
I think what this all comes down to is we can't really expect anything from these politicians and these elite who control them. So we have to do this ourselves. We have to.
Yes, and we must to force them to do what we need. We must to force them. It's very easy. Not with the force, but with the numbers. The numbers. Europe. Then 100 millions of people shall don't have nothing to say. Nothing. Cannot arrest all of us. Yes, here in Romania, yes, they can. They can take 1,000. But in all the Europe cannot. And that shall start a really, let's say, rose revolution. A nice and quiet revolution to force them to do what people need.
I think everybody tried to, but it's difficult to wake up the people.
If we give the alternative, if they see, not only they heard, if they see the alternative, they shall come immediately. But now they don't, they have to see only two alternatives, feudalism or this extremely capitalist, from banking, religions, and all of that.
I think it's a good point you're making, that we are always complaining about the system, but they need another choice actually, because they are afraid to lose what they have now, right? Maybe they have a house and a job and stuff. They are afraid to lose it. So
they can lose the life. It's not a joke that they lose family. They can lose everything. But we must to give them to show them. You don't need to have someone to own you to do your job. You must do your job without compromise, without bribe, without do that. Only this. But he forced me to. We go when he come and we force him to don't get from you. It's easy. For that we must to be much and the people said about me cannot negotiate. No, I don't have right from when I was born to negotiate other life. We cannot negotiate that. It's very easy. We have to do that. So the people must see we have to do that. We do that from the beginning to the end. And we did it. Look. And so people said, yes, if we work hard a little, we shall have what we need. And say we shall force the European Parliament to help the country from where these migrants come to have their hospitals, schools, university, industry, and so they don't have any why to come here. They want their church. But we must force the parliament not to use the money for guns, not use the money to be still, to be hidden in offshores, to use that money directly, strict, to build city, build hospital, build everything what they need in that poor country. And the money we get back there very easy from what they product. They need to be helped in Africa, in Middle East, and so that feudal don't have options. They must make a step back. Then here, this let's say semi-capitalist must make a step back because the people decide. This is the power to decide, the power to force them. We cannot call the people, let's take the gun and go to the street because we are more than them. Be honest, we cannot do that. We don't have any chance because the people, yes, can have gun, can have everything, but they are not training like our military training, like our police training, like our in Romania, in Italy, in France, in Swiss. There are troops, very well training. The people are not. So the people cannot fight with them. But we cannot do nothing, there are too many.
We have to know which people of the agencies are with us and which not, because there exist much people. I know much cities. The police of the cities are splitted in two pieces. One piece is for the government and are blue-eyed, and the other piece knows what happens really behind the coulisses. And they wait for the masses. That's the problem.
Yeah, and they also have the families, so and their family will complain to them too and say like, there are things wrong, and why you should also stand up for this. So the military and the police, there will always be people also on our side, of course.
Right, and other agencies too.
Yeah. But also people need to understand that there is also a difference between the banking economy and the politicians and the real society. Like, you will still need houses for people to live in, you will still need food. All these things can go on without this establishment. And people don't realize this, but the real power people have, because they are keeping the society running. But yeah.
Yes, all of that society work now on money. If we attack that corporation and banks who make the rules, they shall see the truth without lose nothing, because they shall have the same salary, same job, but shall not make the mistake to help the banks. They shall not make mistake to accept rules from the corporate, because the corporate must not make the rules in any law, the law in any country.
That's because we need the contacts for banks, of agencies. It's difficult, I know, and not easy to know tomorrow officer or agent or bankers. But
yes,
we can.
I tried for more than 1 year for that. Here in Romania, as institutes non-financer, let's say, like a company not financer, who work, if I told you with what, you said I'm crazy. With money. I shall repeat, non-financer, but work only with money.
Moreover, we can do the same with the lodges.
And that corporate from here...
But it's not easy.
Help your man, your politician, big politician, to clean money. They send money to that INF, and from here they go directly to offshores. We try a lot. If we don't have a man inside, we cannot find nothing. The men inside are 2, 3. No one else. And that have salary bigger than the president. This is the problem. Only some our friend who can make research on the server, bank server, to find the route like we find about that pharmacological company, where the money go and from where they come.
Yeah, but it's like what Paul also says. You do need the insiders, because the security levels also get higher and higher. It becomes more difficult to get in without the insiders. And with these corporations, they are in all these different countries, and so you never know where they will use their power at this moment to do something.
You know Parrot? Parrot, the Linux system?
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Same network security tools. You have there tools who can make for you monitoring all transmission of, let's say, your network. Image, docs, or everything what you want. It's very nice to know when someone sent to others other things. It's not. Yes. You can see this one. And if you don't want to install nothing on your PC or something like that, you don't have hard, like I work years. Make a CD with network security tools, and there you can monitor in small power, but your own network to see every your network sent by anyone.
Yeah, you have tools like Wireshark to use for that, but it is. You are talking about these corporations. It is very difficult to map exactly what they will do at which moment in which country, because they are in all these different countries, and there's many of these corporations. It is a lot of work to do this, to map everything, and we need.
I told you, only hope is to be helped, but by the people who make good research.
Yeah. And then you also need places. You also need tools to leak this, so everyone sees this, right? I mean, all the people must see this. I mean, they all watch like 10 million people watch to a TV show, but they don't look at our.
Good techniques we can find sure a good place where can stay. I assure you that. We must find some friends who want to help us sponsor his data. Looks like some discussion. Or someone try to test
Even though we cannot say too much because this is public again, and it will be either censored or causing arrest again. And it's,
I give you only a sample. It's only a sample, not to make publicity. Parrot is free. It's not a problem. Saying that network tool security are free, nothing benefits from that. But it's just a few samples, but we must to have very good technique to use that in a place free. Just a sample is not someone to do this. No, the people if can do research is better. Because if we find inside man, it's dangerous.
It's now or never.
say that many times people are actually the weakness and not actually the.
You know reality about that Romanian Guccifer who exposed Clinton mails.
Yeah, Guccifer. Yeah, he was famous.
Marcel, yeah. He get from an English friend some tools. That one told him how to use and what they do. He showed him. Marcel, to hide his identity, get the name Guccifer. That English told him. After Marcel had been arrested, Guccifer was the name what known by you. Had been arrested. He was a workman. Don't have any specialty information. Don't have any specialty in program. Only what he learned from that guy. After he had been arrested, that guy, let's talk the reality about him. It's Guccifer 2.0. You remember that Guccifer 2.0 published everything from Clinton server, everything. In the same time, another big explosion with documents. So that Guccifer 2.0 request help from Assange, from Wikipedia. Someone put in connection, okay, let's take it, we help you. Was never a problem with the money. They give him 1,000 to can run away from where it was. Next day, after they helped him, he was have been found dead in the hotel where give him protection. Other question, you can find everything about a young spy English found dead. The hotel.
Thanks to new tracking system.
You understand?
Yeah, I mean, that is a scary story, of course.
After that was a Russian want to take the tools. After that, some Romanian and a CIA and US hackers tried to take the tools. Was like a crazy thing about Guccifer 2.0, but someone take care and they have been destroyed. So this is reality. We must to find really people who want to help us. So we can offer immediately to the people a way to show them can be an alternative. Look how we do. Look what we did. Look, let's do it together.
Okay, but this is the information leaking, but like, billions of people are not all hackers, of course, and they can also do what it takes to fight back. And
hackers can do all of that. And you know better, a lot of them are in USA, in Germany, and in England. A lot of them. Not the young who get down. Not that one who creeped the PC. That are not hackers. Be honest, and you can do this in 5 minutes. I told you what to do, and you do it. And so this, it's a malicious software. So that is.
The best hackers are the insiders.
Yes.
Sadly, but surely. You heard maybe about the Bundestag in Berlin was hacked 2 times. And the media they told it were the evil Russian, but because of the secure system, it just has to be insiders.
And has been sent by there.
Yeah.
And same when the pedophile who have been getting by some very young German people. They broke all the pedophile servers. Yes, some very young people.
Because of the tracking system or not tracking system, the government attacked IT clubs. Yeah, they attacked IT clubs. The police came in and took the devices, but they knew the clubs weren't the hackers. They were insiders. They tried everything to lead the fake ways. not the real English, but not to make the they did it by themselves. In the videos I told were the Russian, and during this time they went into the flats of the IT clubs. They were critical in the eyes of the elites. It was a good chess step for them.
Yeah,
But
that is like what they will say about them to get in. An
Can
excuse.
do.
Go ahead, Drago. Sorry.
No, it's not a problem. We must do something today. Let's be honest. Today, so the people can see today, and next time tomorrow, so the people can see tomorrow and come to Anonymous to ask for their own right. This I told when I was out a few hours ago. I talked to some people. They said we come there, but we come there to ask for our right, not for political. Yes, this is it. Oh, Dragoș. Sure, they said not fight again with the politics, not fight again to the. I shall try to don't fight again with them. If they don't come there, okay.
we can disturb them on the streets too.
You see, it's it's a matter. Some are little big and little strong than them. Let's say like that. And not all the time police want to beat with them. But it's not. We don't win with this. A lot of time I said not fight. It's what we need. We need to be seen by all. Look, we do this. We must expose what is not well. And if we give proof all over the place, because if we give here proof to the Romanian justice, I don't want to say because other who listen us, they get and do other thing with the proof. But if the proof go to German, go to England, go to France, they cannot hide them. Here, yes, can hide them. Can hide them everything, I told you. But there, no. No. Even in United States, if shall be to any media from there, when they see such a proof, they said, oh my God, that works for Europe. That works for us. That's works for anything. But we must do some facts, not to destroying the server. That is not a good work. Make a clone, and with that clone, make everything what you want. Don't broke anyone.
I know what you mean. We should go as a good example, but the system is falling at the moment in the Western world, and that's because we can achieve it to disturb a little bit. We can.
And we can get help. Let's say here in Romania, not only Romania, in Hungary, Poland, the people who work for Deutsche Welle love very much.
You're losing connection sometimes, Drago. Sorry, but sometimes.
I told you, I see here someone love me very much.
Yeah.
I hope don't. It's not a gay. Deutsche Welle can help in many European states, but must talk with them. In England, few times on request, if you remember, BBC. Remember a few interview with Anonymous, with BB, and not only with them.
Yeah. There was a time Anonymous was unable to ignore Anonymous for a while, but they are trying it now same exposure as we did in 2011, 2010.
I shall tell you about years ago. How can you ignore someone when every time when you work to your server, get message from him? You forgot to do that. 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 What the hell? This is once a day, 2 days. No, man. Then you go to the pirate when that time was a forum of the pirate and said about mother, about all his family, about and everyone know. You have a visit. Yes. What he said, that. And why you don't do? Okay, let's see if he'll do me something. And then now more than 12 years ago, the first server and domain have been closed legally because he was cryptate. All said now, no one have something to say. In 2 weeks have been closed legally, but by the Romanian communication agency for big cryptate. Sure, you cannot ignore Anonymous because Anonymous all the time was there, all the time show you make a mistake. I know you are good, I know you don't want to make mistake, then do it. Why you sleep? So that is all the time. I never think it was only him or only Axo. No, someone help them.
But of course, and hacker community is everywhere. Especially in Germany, is a very big hacker community. Paul,
yeah.
I mean, I remember this from long ago. That you have a very active hacker community, and they are not just people who destroy things, but the hacker community is responsible for building the internet. So, and it was made as a way to share information freely with each other, and now they are trying to restrict this more and more. So we will see more from the hacking community supporting anonymous operations a lot more, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
we must do something. It's more than time.
Yeah, we had yesterday we had an episode with Anonymous from Poland, and they are busy with protesting against the new ACTA law, Article 11, Article 13 in European Parliament. They want to make a more restricted internet in Europe, in the European Union. And the Polish anons are protesting against this. I think this will be very big. In May in next year, there will be a vote about this.
Yes, it's too late. We shall see. Shall start at the new European Parliament. Shall start the new rules. Shall finish the fight.
We will see.
Yeah, we will see how big this project.
We will see in a few months.
Yeah.
Yes, we must see if now we can make any change, any small change shall be very strong for next year.
No, actually, if I interject, it's already happened from the Middle East. I think we're going to see quite a few things to the end of the year. I think May is quite late, and I think there's a lot of operation right now working in that direction to stop certain things. I don't know how freely we can talk here, but
the ACTA vote is the official vote about the new ACTA law in European Union is in May 2019. So before that, we have to do a lot of protests, a lot of operations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened in the cyber, and it's also happened in the anonymous community. What Uwe and I was wondering, how can we, what can we give our listeners when they leave us? What kind of hope or what kind of idea of unison and united thought? You know, what can we give them? You know, how can we create with these beautiful shows a better united anonymous? to work better together? How can we net better together and not just talk about it? This is always what I'm sometimes in sleepless nights think about.
Think about to make an international TV station and radio station.
Yeah,
for internet.
We're trying this, but what I would want to say is you have to maybe go back to the basics. Everyone agrees on in Anonymous. Like, I want this freedom of speech, and you want to stop this censorship and this corrupt top. So
No. Here can come the protection of everyone. So the channel is one for TV station, but every country can make own transmission with own people, with own correction, and can be seen everywhere on the world. But not necessary to have connectivity with them. Same on the radio. And same we can make for them a channel for chat, for video, for everything what we want.
That's a great idea. Berlin International, as one has their different countries, guys and sisters from different countries, and I think in prep of many things which are come, it is so important. Country works by himself, that we unite in pots together so that we can
Why not synchronize?
so to synchronize.
For example, Poland.
Just wait.
Poland. I mean, if they do a great thing in May, why don't synchronize with other countries and just support the whole thing?
Yeah, we agreed with them yesterday to work together on this, and let's all work together on this. We can all work on this project because it's very important, and it will affect at least everyone in Europe, because this will be a Chinese-like internet filter. So
let's make an like we have do with Change the World, CTV, CTW, in all the country, in any city can be done. With a representative organization for that.
We can all connect behind the scenes. I mean, we are all in this chat. We can all exchange some place we can meet, and we can work on it in Europe. So
yes, we can found some research for that, and we shall open everywhere. Okay, with the first we shall start with the T-shirt. With I don't know. You can find an idea to be sell at small price for the people. And so they can develop our own volunteer people who work there to help people to sell clean food, to help people ecological food, to help people who don't have home to find the home, to help people repair home after something happening, something like that. And so we shall live with the people in the same and give them a way to see we can change that. Let's change all
together. To unite everyone, like I said, you have to go back to basics, what everyone agrees on, I think, and then maybe because everyone is on some things others don't agree with, and they fight about this, but there are some basics everyone agrees on, and we all want this. We all want this freedom and beat this censorship, and we want everyone wants this, so it is easy to unite on these things. And
yes, and what are not the same. Everyone shall use own cultural what they like. When I was like I told you years ago, and that radio. The Lord web radio station on internet. I love said, Dragoș, in 3 minutes you change the melody, you put everything what you want. How melody you have? On my PC, I don't have anything of that. What? No, I use a special browser who search for a song on every server from the world. And you just told me what you want to listen. This is you shall listen. From other country, you want to listen other thing. Okay, shall have the same small control panel to choose his melody. Everyone can have what they want with any problem. So it is. We just must help them to have that.
It's a good idea.
Same on the TV station. Why to put me to look on the Muslim prayer? And why to put the Muslim prayer to look me on the party? Or let's say on the church or something like that. Why? They have a right to see what they want. Okay, you transmit for your country. In your country, it's your right.
Yeah, maybe not even country, just group or different group. And
It's his problem not to force me to look on what he want. Or me to force them to look on what I want. No. Please. It's you are your group, look at what we want. Sure, I don't want to see to make from you terrorists or what other things are not like it. That can be stopped from the server, but the rest they change. They chose what they want to see, what they want to listen, what they want to talk. They can automatic transmission from the protest when something happening. So then we shall have the first who have from there the news.
so you're, I think you are explaining it perfectly because it is. They can all decide whatever they choose, but we can unite on creating this place where they can choose.
Yes, we can make the platform for that.
That is one. I think it's a great idea. Yeah? That is one of the things that we can create this free speech, or we can create this free choice platform outside of establishment. Yeah.
Anonymous tried to create platforms, but they hadn't enough money to stabilize this idea, and that's because they were shut down.
To start one of that, you need a lot of money because, yes, after that you can use, let's say, publicity or something like that to make money. But to start it, you must invest in very high and very good technology. You cannot use second hand for that. You must have for everything more than 3 way to try to transmit and receive. More than that, because anytime one can be cut. It's very easy. Not only we can get the internet, and others can do the same. So need a lot of money. A lot of money, not mean millions, but thousands of hundred of thousands, yes, to start it. And in every country, we have only to make a small office for that, to help them to start their small business, to sell something for the people with anonymous, with peace. We don't love war. We never not false with the ideas. And not a big price, only to they have benefits from them to can continue the work on that station and to make volunteer for the people, to help people and bring the people to them.
Yeah, I think it's difficult for an have a hard time to buy the flyers, right, and divide them. What are the basics? What are the basics? I mean, these are great ideas, and I think certainly we should grant that thought. But what is it? What do you guys do to reach people right now? As we described that we do flyers and do all these things, which I just mentioned.
There's this big silence.
The only problem of them are money.
Silence is good.
The only thing who can attack them are money. We must attack them to the banks, to the money. Nothing
No,
else.
I mean the basics. Going back to the basics. We anonymous. We hackers. We activists. We truthers. When we in Berlin, for instance, our two groups, we going into the streets. We are activists. We are anonymous.
Yes, you know, never the activists go on the street. Only activists go.
Yeah, we go as anonymous too.
Yes.
We have a little mask on.
Yes, this is the only. They are activists. The same, not necessary to be volunteer for to have the mask because they cannot. The police don't let them in Germany. In
No, there are
France,
certain things you can wear the mask, if I understand that correctly. But what I would love to, and that's so exciting, and I appreciate that I was invited tonight. What I really like to see is and hear from you guys. How do you distribute information or talk to people? Are you going into the street or?
yes,
You
I,
do.
I go into the street and people know me. But but they know this Dragos. This is Dragos.
Okay.
You know him, was a stuntman. Oh my God, he's now but he is friend with hackers.
Oh, good, nice.
He's the man in the front. What's he with him? He's the man in the front. I'm in the front. I talk with them and they said, Dragos said that. Okay. Okay, motherfucker, I talk that, but I shall, after that, I come to you. No. I come to you to talk with you. You shall see. And I go to people, I speak to the people said, oh no, we must get salary tomorrow. Don't broke. I go after them. I told you don't do that.
Okay. Are you using some type of flyer type of information so that they can walk home with some in
No,
the hand?
here we put in the post mail and I see last year no effect because someone take care and get out. I told you here people listen better to the media and political decision. It's worse than it was in the communist time.
Okay, thank you.
Only to talk people to the people, to talk one by one. It's not a joke, one by one. The advantage is when you talk with one, that one shall talk with another 2 or 3.
Very good. True. That's the same way I feel. Thanks.
It actually works, yeah, for sure, yeah.
In mathematics, it's let's say an algorithm you make in a place, let's say an office, a space to meet with someone, and every hour you must to meet with 2 people. After you talk with them, they understand you. They said, "Okay, we shall be with you." You said, "Okay, now please, every one of you, next day come with another 2."
Exactly. Yeah. I speak. I think I've started earlier, but didn't really finish when I said I get some Arab food and talked to Turkish, and then they admitted to be Kurdish people. Interesting, you know, if Kurdish people come from Turkey, what they say and how they praise Erdogan and vote for him, and you talk to Syrian Kurdish people or Iraq Kurdish people who feel completely different. It is very interesting just to use an opportunity and not just be in a group. Just talk to people and find out how they feel, and then interject information. Maybe somehow correct some misinterpret of some things if you have the appropriate knowledge. Yep.
I have to be honest, and like in the Netherlands, we used to do a lot of flyers and a lot of street work, but in the last few years, it is more just like social media and website, because yeah, most people are there and you reach them faster. But I do think that talking to people personally is much stronger to actually convince them. But
true, yeah, I use that too. Instagram, I use. Yeah. I've been shadow banned a lot.
Yeah, for me the same on Twitter. It is still the same.
Yes, it's the same problem everywhere. I told you, the only thing what does work this year is to talk one by one, one by one. The problem is I cannot meet with more than one because I get 3 years ago that decision about organize the protesters. If are another two with me, the police can arrest them for participate to a protest.
Mm.
So it's not nice for me.
Yeah.
I can talk only one by one.
Mm.
But
But do we
same
reach
you.
enough people then? Do we have that time? You know, sometimes I'm wondering, do we need to find different methods of uniting so we doing all the same thing in Europe, for instance? Sometimes I vision, you know, that simultaneously in several countries we're doing the same thing to make a little wave or something.
I shall give you a few samples for Germany. You can use it very well. You go with the dog into the park. You meet people with a dog there. You can say hello because both of you and them are with a dog.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you can talk with them. You can see if they have a political opinion or not. Very easy. Without said nothing about Anonymous. Nothing. Only opinion of a young woman in your choice or man about what we can do. Is not better if shall be changed the system, not in the same to come another party. The party, that party who are now here to work for the people. Or others, the men go to drink a beer. The sure shall meet another 2-3 there to a beer. I'm not well because I don't know what to do with my life because look, I don't have any future. That it's time to change the system. How the motherfucker can do that? And immediately shall be one or two there. But how if not are this one, who shall be? It's not a problem who shall be. Anyone can be, but they must work for us. The same things said in two different places. One into the park, second to the beer. The result that the people shall listen to this. It's not an anonymous who said that. Shall be a man, a simple man. And after that, anonymous shall send message to them. Anonymous call you to reset the system. You understand?
Yeah, right.
The anonymous don't was to the beer, don't go to the dog into the park. Anonymous just send the message.
Hey, but
So
what do you say to them so they will stick to their friends and family?
In France, it's a little difficult because the France, a friend of mine from there said, was better if they have to choose to stop a lot of things against the church and against that they said the new order is come with LGBT. I said them, only you have the power to make that. No other people. The family there should have a problem because now the girls can marry to 12 years. You know that?
Oh, you're talking about France, the country. Yeah,
Yes.
I was just saying, like, what do you tell people on the street, and so they will tell it to their family and their friends? Like, what is the best?
Same. If you want to ask them to put them to talk with the family, you can talk like when you are in a forum. In a forum, you said ask your friend. It's not better if you can find a way to make that change without revolution, because you cannot say like a simple man, let's do a revolution. No, we must find a way, and after that. Then you give the idea to them to ask the people, to ask his family if we cannot find. The anonymous said, let change the system. Let's reset. So the idea shall come not from you, shall come from an anonymous. And then they shall see and they shall understand. We can go with anonymous organization to change the system because the anonymous don't want to take the power like that party want. The anonymous just want to make the change. The power work for us.
Okay.
For the poor people, for to help them to have what to eat, what to work, where to live. If you set 1, 2, 3, 4, they can help.
Yeah.
You can see a very big change on that. Because to that one, it's not necessary to change the system because he wants. His life is. If you told him just people want to change the system, what you said, you want with them or want to be against them? She said, no, I am to for the change the system. I want to have a life. Now, with this one, you shall win very easy. The system don't help you. Let's put the system to help you. You are without a house. You are a small pensioner. You don't have money for medicaments. Let's change the system because you work a lot of time for the system.
I like to add to this great comment that that we have people on different levels. I mean, we meet people on the street who are differently awoke, differently spiritual. This has posed a big discussions among us with the self-denker from Karl Teutoburg and Neo 369 in Berlin, Legion in Berlin International. We tried to find a way of a 3-step system which is carefully addressing something. Protect yourself, read more. Have you wondered why the sky and the clouds look? Have you wondered what they put in your food? And then in the second phase, confronting them with certain more details. And in the third, they have the option to go into get more knowledgeable about Illuminati or the Kabbalah or
one, because cannot be in the same time. If you want to...
excuse me. And so we trying to see in these 3-step system to implement that in the street. And that is our intention, to bring people into Discord or bring them into the boarding so that we can slowly wake them up. If that is not possible, we try softly to try to find out when we're in the street, how far is somebody? Because I think it's very critical that when you distribute information, and some of this information is very harsh to realize for people who are very mainstream, who have maybe wondered, but not really invested any more thoughts or research in this. So it's a delicate thing. And again, my thought to and my appreciation to come here today was to see how other anonymous do this, and if there is a chance to unite, because and not the unite in the unite, but to network together. I think this is the biggest issue because we have no more time to lose, and that's why again what Uwe said earlier, if you right, left, whatever, that we need to synchronize. We need to make it simple, and I think the 3-step system from Neo 369 Anonymous is really excellent because you can go to the street and tell people, do you know that they poison us with this and this? Do you know that the weather is not correct? Do you know that the axis of the Earth is turning and that we probably have the North Pole at the South Pole, that we have sun winds? You cannot just dash and bang this stuff into people's face. You have to think how you talk to people.
We tried that 10 years ago, and there was a bullshit. No, you must. It's in an old school that are named political of discussion. you must to get down your level of discussion on the level of the people you talk with him. So if he's up, you must get up and discussion on his level. If he's down, without culture, with other problems, you must to get down on his problem, on his culture to discuss about the things what he really matters. So for
Absolutely. That is. I think that's self-understood. But I was especially talking about how to transmit information and in what rate and in what
very
deepness.
small, very easy, step by step. You must, if you told to one who don't have what to eat, what to drink, the water is poison, the Illuminati come, he shall look and do as I said, my God, come aliens here. This is the reality. You must give him the hope to the change, because that change come if the people who are behind all of that disappear. Behind of that, who is it? I don't see anyone. Oh, you don't see, you don't heard about Masonic, classic, Masonic, Framasonic, you don't heard about Illuminati, you don't heard about, look on the sky. Look what they give to us. That are money, our money. Our money don't come to you to help you. Go there to poison us. And
I think you have to find a mix between shocking and the truth. It's like you have to work like the mainstream media. They work about emotions. So you get all the time you get this emotional shock, and then you get the answer. And it's sounds bad, but you have to work like this, I think. But for me, I wanna get back to a point like. I think in the moment it's very important to synchronize events, to do it, to get more attention, to do it worldwide, to support different operations, especially street events, and do it synchronized. That's my idea.
Yes, let's see how we can synchronize from from tomorrow.
We are all netted in social media. We can join each other's Telegram, or we can join each other's Facebook, or
yeah, we need a place just to meet, and Telegram is one good place.
Yeah,
Telegram.
When we have these meetings, we need to. Excuse me. When we have these meetings, we need to get something out of it for us too. And I think Uwe said it, I think 3 times, that we need to synchronize. We need to maybe city-wise, country-wise, not an overkill right now of an illusion, but an attempt to come together, to really use the word unite. I'm more open. Berlin is very open to work with different countries together. Berlin Legion as well as Berlin International.
To really work together,
Berlin,
we have to...
excuse me, just last sentence. Berlin International does not have yet a Facebook page, but Berlin Legion, Anonymous Berlin Legion has one, and you find me under Wire Unalis, so just PM me. I'm more than happy to unite with you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, many of us also left Facebook during the big censorship schemes by Mark Zuckerberg. So there's also an issue. But you're right. We need to synchronize everything for sure. But what I wanted to say about that was you unite on the basics where we all agree on to avoid any fights anymore and discussions. We join together. With just this single purpose to unite on these basic issues, and we can avoid all fights. Then we don't have to discuss about the details, about who is vegan or who is against certain religions or whatever. We can just
right. Exactly. That's the point. I see so much fucking drama, personal drama, and what the fuck, I can't work with them because this, and he stole my whatever, and it's a shame.
Yeah, that's what's happening now, right? I mean, that is what you see with Anonymous. And on Facebook, you see this a lot, but on Twitter, you see this too. You see this; they are fighting about these small issues we don't even have to agree on. We don't. It's like details.
And in time we can make a summit of all. We can make a meeting in Europe.
Yeah, that was an idea that came up last year, beginning of last year. There was an idea of a European meeting, but was not very successful.
London, yes, I know. my back have no problems from the cups.
We can easily do this now. Like, I think all Europeans are very similar in what they want and what they are fighting against. Now we can actually organize this now. I think European meetings. I'm fine with it.
Yes, and we can make was an old idea to Anonymous to make in many country, in many city, some party.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Yes,
Let's get the most out of this meeting. Let's get the most out of this meeting. For it, absolutely. Let's set a date, which is far enough and short enough so that we can organize something like this.
Yeah.
Let's brainstorm it. I don't know how we can stay in contact and how can we talk. We say we are in contact.
I know we in the Netherlands and in Belgium, we all do use Discord too, and I know you guys. You mentioned Discord too. So you guys use it too. I don't know. I like Discord, but there are also other places we can discuss about this.
It's fine. Discord is great. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but
there's already a Facebook
I heard some rumors.
Is my way now work same? Discord work well for that.
Yeah, let's share Discord, or I don't know if you have a page there and you wanna.
Yes, we have server there.
We have this channels on Discord about the meeting, but we can discuss this other time. Because I have to go out now. I have to leave.
So we've done 3 hours almost already, so this is fine.
Yeah. So thanks for the invite, and yeah, see you.
Okay, we shall see next time.
Thank you for having us, and appreciate the invitation. And yes, I don't know what the final thought is where we can meet. I haven't gathered that yet.
Well, yeah, we can discuss this in the Hangouts, but
in private.
Okay,
for
great.
now, maybe. I mean, maybe later we announce this public or something.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was very joyful.
Hey, maybe real quick, everyone, like we all mentioned, like the locations from Million Mass March and time or something.
Yeah, Berlin is Berlin Legion with Berlin International S1 is starting at 1800 at the Brandenburger Tor. Yes, yeah, and we walk. Please join us. We're very happy, and who don't join us and has his own MMM, have fun. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you, sis and bros. Bye.
In Romania, University Center Universității La Fântână, 6 o'clock afternoon. Be there, friend. We are union. We are not saint on earth. We are not angel on earth. We are not God on earth. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Nice one.
Yeah. Here for Brussels here too, in Belgium. Everybody that want to come to the march, and it's an event plan. Dus rond 2 uur, dus iedereen dat wil komen, kom naar hier. Dus join the Million Mask March.
Yeah, and Amsterdam is 1300, so 1 o'clock at the Dam Square in Amsterdam. Everyone's welcome, of course. It's Damplein, Amsterdam, 1 uur. Hey, and Paul, you guys have like events in multiple locations, right? Or is he?
He's gone.
Okay, well, we mentioned the Berlin one.
Sorry.
Yeah, just mention like you have in other cities events too. I'm not sure. Maybe you have the times and places or something to me.
I don't know in the other cities, but I think every city has 6 p.m. But I have to check it. But I can find it out quickly.
Yeah, we can spread this and later then after the show.
I found one for München, and that was the location. It says Odeonsplatz in München. For the rest,
I have all the locations too.
Düsseldorf.
Okay.
I was talking about the Million Mask March European-wide, but we would have to do much promotion. And that's because I was silent at this moment.
Well, we can organize something. We need a march to the European Central Bank too. I think in the near future. So
even the mainstream media would talk about us.
Yeah,
it's much work.
Much work to be done. Yeah.
I think we're gonna end the show. I think we're gonna shut Do you have something to say, John, for the end?
No, I think it was a really nice show, and I'm glad everyone could get together this fast. I'm very happy. We are very honored to have you all on, and we'll meet again. So.
It's good to spread the word. Okay, see you next show, guys. And March. Bye.
See you next show. Stay strong, family.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. Nou, mooie show toch? 3 hours of talking.
It was a hell of an adventure, but
today they claim we take down 11 statues. Well, very tired.
For some reason they were trying to set us up to each other, or
First thing is the dates. 2 days ago it was 11. Yesterday it was 12. Today is 13.
I really enjoy the fact that the people who uploaded this video call themselves anonymous official.
There's your red flag already, right?
Yeah.
Is everybody here basically in Europe?
Yeah.
For the most part, I mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Bard, I just come out of the Egyptian theater. I made a wrong turn somewhere, and I ended up right in front of a Scientology retail shop. There were bad books in different languages. There was a guy in front with a weird shirt on, asking me like if he could talk to me, and I just ran. I didn't know what to do. I made a live video, and I ran very fast.
you. Don't give them any excuse because you are staying within the law when you are protesting and you're not breaking any laws. And make them be the first ones to break the law. Violence, you're giving the powers who are in control the excuse to use violence against you. They're painting a very bad picture of you by being violent protesters. Well, it is your right to protest, so you can do this without any violence. Yeah, well, you have this racist guy. He runs over someone with a car, and then you have all these Antifa protesting in America, and then directly as a response, like a week later, then all these Nazis in Germany start protesting.
Yeah.
It's like so all over the world now, right?
Try to divide us.
There are many things wrong with
false flag, of course.
Media loves these false flags.
Most of the time, these things just are created to make new laws, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
We find the news now. We make the news, we find the news. We have to hack databases and security systems in order to get actual news anywhere in the United States.
We're following this idea of anonymous. Yeah, and I'm reading this in the comments now. Someone says anonymous hacking ABC News to find out which journalist wrote the story. Would actually be a good idea, I guess. not a group, so it's not the same the same thing as Antifa.
And remember, we do not fear, we do not regret. Expect us.
Sometimes it's hard not to want to shut people up. It's a frustration of hate, when really, if we're going to be about free speech no matter what, we have to hear everyone. And so, I don't know, it becomes a battle. It really does. What would you guys say is your most woke news sources that we can pay attention to here in the United States in order to get real news?
People who follow like certain ideas, right? And it's not always about these people themselves, but it's about the ideas they follow.
I've been thinking a lot lately that they have just been throwing out all these topics so that we have things to fight about on the internet.
Life right now.
Okay, so we are back now.
The mainstream media are just puppets to murder.
People be oppressed by greed. Our collective has realized, along with many of the world's citizens, that the current governments are no longer functional.
Power to the people, not the corporation. Power to the people, not the corporation. In monetary funding, the president should not have to raise money in order to be president.
What else you could do? Boycott. Boycott.
Wir als Menschen. In London, they've already circled the embassy. We want Assange set free. He didn't do anything. There's nothing to report. We want the real criminals in jail. We have answers. We have answers. It is all about you